A family who faces societal torture because of daughter's molestation. Due to such reasons, many a times the parents take chance of having a child, that is, after even having 5 daughters they prefer having a son. Human beings use 73% more natural resources than the Earth can produce in a year. The number of people living in countries with both biocapacity deficits and below average income has been growing in recent years. In order to maintain its population, a nation needs to have either enough natural resources to match people's ecological footprint or enough export replacements from other countries. Every day thousands and thousands of people wake up and go to buy their daily needs, which is essential in everyone's daily life. Humans consume 73% more natural resources than the Earth produces in a year. More people, in turn, use more natural resources, cause pollution, and bring changes in world climate. As the population increases, the various pollution also increases due to consumerism. The increasing number of vehicles on the roads are a big source of noise pollution. Increasing traffic jams in congested areas lead to repeated hooting of horns by impatient drivers, causing noise pollution. People's needs increase day by day. A basic need is tree for a variety of reasons. Loss of forested areas also means destruction of natural habitats, and this threatens biodiversity. Deforestation in specific locations have holistic effects as they influence the hydrological cycle in terms of evapotranspiration, interception of rainfall and surface runoff. Mining activities may result in deforestation as well as the excavation and scarring of land either due to open pit or underground mining. When the trees are chopped down, the topsoil is destroyed. It leads to disastrous landslides and sudden flood. Deforestation also causes droughts, weather extremes, desertification, loss of wild species, and depletion of ozone layer. The more humans, the more consumption, the more consumption, the more waste. Over 90% is dumped openly in lower-income countries that often lack adequate disposal and treatment facilities. A booming waste burden could also contribute to climate change impact, with the treatment and disposal of current waste levels generating around 5% of carbon emissions. Plastics, which can contaminate waterways and ecosystems for thousands of years, comprise 12% of all waste, the World Bank said. It doesn't have to be this way. Our resources need to be used and then reused continuously so that they don't end up in landfills. The rising population have led to the production of more waste. With every passing year, people have several kinds of stuff to use and discard. The most immediate effect of wastewater on the environment is when it contributes toward the contamination and destruction of natural habitats and the wildlife that live in those habitats by exposing them to harmful chemicals that would otherwise not be present over the natural course of things. Population growth particularly will limit the amount of water available per person, because an increase in per capita water consumption driven by development will intensify water demand, straining the local water supply. In influencing water supply problems, population growth has the role of determining the demand for water and water consumption. As population grows, the demand for water also grows. Overpopulation will strain current water resources to their limits, cause an increase in water pollution, and lead to an increase in civil and international conflicts over existing water supplies. The most water-scarce areas are typically those with few water resources, high population, and even higher population growth rates. Nearly 20 plant and animal species become extinct every hour due to overpopulation. Along with fueling massive animal extinction, population growth contributes heavily to habitat loss. Overpopulation also leads to overfishing in much the same way as it leads to intensive agriculture. Fishermen are encouraged by growing profits and demand for fish and therefore overexploit fish populations. To avoid the continuation of these patterns, humans must cease clear-cutting forests and promote vertical development rather than outward development. They found that overexploitation, including logging, hunting, Fishing and the gathering of plants is the biggest single killer of biodiversity, directly impacting 72% of the 8,688 species listed as threatened or near threatened by the UCAN. As the human population continues to increase, there is a great deal of concern about whether or not the Earth can sustain the large and increasing population. As the population approaches the carrying capacity, resources become more limited because more people are relying on the same amount of resources. If the human population was to exceed their carrying capacity, the rate of resource depletion would increase rapidly. This would lead to an inability to provide basic resources, such as shelter, food, and medical care, which could lead to increased competition for resources and increased mortality. Human-made resources are made from natural reservoirs, and if these resources disappear, then there will be no resources. No resources means no water, no forest, no food, and many other things will get disappeared, maybe everything. If resources disappear, then there will be nothing on the earth. The result will be really horrible. That's why we should conserve all types of resources from water to iron.